don't think people understand how hard Olympics are with the game schedule.
Tell us.
It's hard. It is
Like significantly harder than the World Cup?
significantly.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to The Conversation, a Colorado Rapids podcast where I get to sit down with people and talk about life, football, soccer, whatever you call it, and Colorado, of course. We thought, what better way to kick this off than bringing in the champion herself, Captain America, Lindsey Heaps.
Oh, I still can't get used to Heaps.
It's
Also,
weird.
what a nice introduction. Thank you.
You're welcome. It is weird to say Heaps.
I know.
You're still in my phone as Horan, and I don't know if I'm ever going to change it.
You
Is
don't have
that?
to.
Don't tell Tyler.
I still haven't changed my Instagram, which everyone keeps asking me to do, and I'm like, is that big of a deal?
In 2025, I guess so.
Yeah.
We have had. I've been so lucky to know you for, like 15 years now.
Yeah.
A long, long time. Do you remember when we first met?
No, do you?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I don't know.
Yeah, I remember. We were playing. I was playing pickup. I was playing pro, and you must have been 15 or 16 years old. You were very young.
Yeah.
And Eric Buchet had a group of rush players that were playing pickup at Wheat Ridge High School.
Oh my gosh.
Remember training at Wheat Ridge in the off seasons?
Yeah.
Well, I don't really know if it was your off season. And he had told me about you before. But when I got there and saw you play, I thought, oh my gosh, who is this? And I knew immediately you were a star. So maybe that's why you were just like, who's this girl?
No, that is not true at all. But oh my gosh, what great memory.
Yeah, well, I don't have great memory on a lot of things, just the important things.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, but it has been so fun to watch you grow up and become who you are. And we're going to get into all different things. But one of the things that really unites us, and I think we've had this common thread, is that we both were born and raised here. Like Colorado is our home. What do you think makes players special that come out of Colorado? Because it is such a unique environment.
I don't know. I get asked that a lot because obviously there are a lot of national team players that are from Colorado as well. But we have so many pro players in the NWSL. Coming out of Colorado, and I'm like, what is it? And I don't know if it's just like the active community or lifestyle here, or the altitude really gets us going. And
I agree.
And we're the fittest ones out there. I don't know. But I think one, I would say the youth clubs out here have raised us to be like such good professionals. Yeah. And I think I could speak for myself on that one, where I came up through Colorado Rush, and they made me who I am today. And lucky enough, I got coached by Eric Buchet, who's also with the Rapids, and they helped develop me. And I think a lot of the players that are in the pro level right now would say the same.
Yeah, I always mention altitude because I do think it's a differentiation factor. Like, the first couple workouts you would do coming back here, how much do you hate them?
I just did Legree today. And it's just, Pilates, but like not Pilates.
Yeah, I want to go. I'll go with you next time.
You should go with me tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay.
No, but I was like, why is this so hard? But yeah, it has to be.
Yeah.
Like it's the first few probably weeks I get killed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a burning in your chest that you can't explain until you've experienced it. Yeah. But growing up here too, like I just mentioned at 15, we're already talked about by a lot of people, but it started long before then, right? When would you say like your first soccer memories were of, all right, I really love this sport?
I got to be honest, it was probably when I made my move to Colorado Rush. And so it was about 11 or 12, I think. But not until I was coached by Tim Schultz, who we both know very well, where I believed that I could potentially be really good. And I remember one moment that we sat down in a hotel room, and Tim, he was speaking to the whole the whole group in there. And he was just like, you know, some of you will get full ride scholarships. Some of you will go play pro. Some of you, you know, will stop here. Some of you might make the national team, et cetera, et cetera. And I was like, okay, well, I want to be that one player that makes the national team, you know? And I think that's where I was like, I'm going to love this every single day. I'm going to work my absolute hardest every single day to like prove to him that I could go do it. So I think it was that thought of like, you know, working my butt off to go and do something that, you know, I've dreamt of since I was a little girl. I think that's where I started to really, really love it.
Where do you think that drive comes from? Because that has been evident from the beginning. Like, you have something within you that is an X factor, and it is your ability to like hone in on something and say, I'm going to accomplish this. No matter what it is, I'm going to do it. Where do you think that stems from?
You know, it's really hard. I think it obviously was always inside of me. And it was inside of me for something in particular. Like, we all knew like school wasn't my, you know, my strong suit or my favorite thing. But if I really...
We didn't all know that, but now we do.
But now we do.
Okay.
But if I really put my mind to it, like, I could be successful.
For sure.
You know?
Yeah.
But I think, like I just said, you know, one coach that kind of brings that fire out of me, or seeing how hard my parents work every single day, or the things that my brother did. I think there were those people that really inspired me, where I was like, okay, well, I want to work that hard at something that I truly love as well. And then once that started going, it just didn't stop. And I wanted to do everything possible to be my very best self. And I knew I wasn't like this super talented individual where, you know, I saw a lot of players like on my brother's team growing up that were just absolutely talented, that didn't really work hard, but, you know, they were so fast, or they're so strong, or, you know, they just had a nose for the goal, things like that. Like, I didn't necessarily have that. So I was like, I need to work extra hard. And my coaches reminded me of that. And so I was very thankful for them, you know, back in the day. But again, like, you ultimately have to get that out of yourself to be like, I'm going to go and do this and commit to it.
Your family is very unique too, because your dad is like a ultra runner, right? Like, super crazy man. Your mom was an athlete too, wasn't she? She was a runner. Or do you feel like there was pressure from them at all, or did they just let you go experience whatever you wanted to do and just support you?
Literally no pressure at all from them. Which, it's crazy because they are mad athletes.
So like, good.
And my mom ran marathons. My dad ultras. He's still doing ultras right now.
Do you ever go running with him?
Yes. and he's like still, you know, kicks my ass at 67, I think, right now.
That's cool. Maybe humbling for you in a good way.
Very, very
You're
humbling.
Like, all right.
But I see him do a 100-mile race, and I'm just like, I can't complain about going to do a yo-yo test, like, whatever. But
I
no,
can.
Yeah. No, there was no pressure from them whatsoever. I think they put Michael and I, my brother, into as many sports as possible to go see, you know, what we loved and what excited us, or, you know, what got the best out of us. And I thought that was really, really special. And then also, no offense, Mom and Dad, but they weren't the most knowledgeable on football. My mom, like, I remember she had a what's that book called?
Soccer for Dummies.
Thank you, Soccer for Dummies. I found it in her like little drawers in her office, because she was my coach when I was growing up. Because she just really wanted to help me, because I think she knew I loved soccer. But so they weren't like pressuring me to be, you know, the best soccer player ever, but they wanted to help me with a dream that I had as a little girl. Yeah.
One of the things that I thought was so brave in your journey is when you decided, okay, I'm not going to go to college. I'm going to go straight and play pro. And I knew you very well then, and I knew it wasn't easy. Like, there were a lot of, you know, I don't want to use the word regret, because I don't think you regretted doing that, right? But there were difficult moments in that time. Like, what were those demons you had to conquer, or those challenges of being just 18 years old in a country where you didn't speak the language? And were there moments where you're like, what am I doing?
Yes. I mean, there was a lot, and I know it's probably like people might say an over talked about situation, but it was the first for a player turning pro.
I don't think that could ever be like, you shouldn't understate that, Lindsey, because now you look and see all the opportunities that girls have because of that.
For sure.
And you really led the charge in a way to say, like, this is what I want. And if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
well, thank you. But I think it was obviously more difficult because it was going to France. It was a new culture, new language, like you just said. And I remember when my mom first brought me over there, and she got me all settled in, and for about 10 days there, I was living in a house. Other players were supposed to be in there. And I think my mom felt very good about the situation. And the day that she was leaving, I know it was so difficult for her. I cannot imagine, parents sending their 18-year-old daughter overseas to a new country and just like, hoping that.
See you later.
Good
like, luck.
They had to go work. It was
yeah.
Like I'm thinking of being a mom like that, and it's wild.
Mm-hmm.
But the
it's
day
weird how your perspective changes, huh? Like, yeah.
But that day that she left, they had called me and told me I had to move out of that house, and I was going to go live in an apartment with a German player, Nika Kron, who, by the way, was 10 years older than me. And at the time, she was gone on the national team. So I was like, oh my God, what what am I going to do? They picked me up with all my suitcases and everything, just put me in this apartment. There's no Wi-Fi. There's no bedding. There was like nothing. And the first night there, I was just like, oh my God, what did I just do? Like, I slept on towels. No one really like helped situate me. I went to the McDonald's across the street, and it was Zoom back then. Like, we had no FaceTime or anything. And I had a Zoom call with my mom, and I was just like, oh no, not Zoom. Sorry, Skype.
Skype. Yeah.
I Skyped my mom, and I was just like, I like don't know if I can do this. I'm bawling my eyes out in a McDonald's. So that was like, to put it in perspective, how difficult that that first few months was kind of like that. But obviously, no, there's no regrets, anything. But there are moments like that I dealt with for that, probably first 6 months.
Yeah. It was not easy. And then I know injuries happen too. And, you're thinking you're young. And I remember visiting you at your house. When was that? When you got hurt?
Yeah.
And you still had all your Messi posters up on your wall in your bedroom. And I came to see you. I can't remember what year that was.
It
had to have been like a couple years after you were there.
Yeah. It was 2013 or 2014.
Yeah. How'd you deal with that? The injuries early on when, everything seemed to be going well, but then you're like, all right, this is a big hurdle to do, especially in a place where you probably are a little bit better at French by then, but I don't know how good your French is right now, so I'm not going to say anything about that.
My French has really progressed in the last few years.
Okay, good. Good, Liz.
Thank you.
Way to go.
Thank you very much. No, that injury it's obviously the biggest injury that I've ever had, but that was a crazy time. I came back to Colorado to do the surgery, which I was very thankful PhD let me do. But that was the first time that I had soccer been taken away from me. And oh my God, I did not deal with that well. Yeah. Like, soccer is everything to me. Like, to be perfectly honest, I didn't have anything else. And so I had to really crawl deep inside of me and be like, okay, how am I going to get better in a different way here? How am I going to make myself happy? Like, I need to keep enjoying life. I'm driving my mom crazy because I'm just like sitting on the couch complaining and crying and whatnot. And I can't really do anything. I'm on crutches. I can't drive. I was going to next level to do my PT, and that was like my only,
outlet.
Yeah.
A little bit.
And I'm very thankful for that. But that was my first time like away from, my love. And it sounds like really lame when I say it, but that was how it was. And so I think I really grew as a person then.
How do you think you grew?
I think I saw that there's more to life than just football. And I think I always put football first in everything I did, and I was like, okay, well, I need to put like my health, my family, can I enjoy things in different ways, and also can I better myself in different ways? Like, how else can I learn and grow in the game? How can I learn and grow as a person? I think that was really cool for me. And I also think my relationship changed a bit with my mom, where I wasn't just a crazy lunatic with her every single moment, but I do think we went through hard times in that, and I feel terribly, Mom. But we definitely grew out of that, and which was monumental for us.
Yeah. So when you're saying like you learned different things about the game, like were you just watching games? Like how were you bettering yourself in those moments that was different than maybe what you had done before?
Yeah, it was really hard for me to watch just games. I actually did more like YouTube clips.
Yeah.
Of like individuals. I vividly remember like my poor parents, I bought a subscription to some Spanish channel like package so I could watch all Barcelona games. And then
shocker.
Yeah, shocker. And they didn't know it. I just told them, oh, it's the movie package that they got. And so like I had full access to Barcelona, and then I would just start like bawling because I couldn't watch it because I was like, I can't play. But I was like, well, I'm gonna go watch just Messi clips because that's what I remember doing when I was really young. And so then I started getting into Iniesta and Xavi because they're more my position. And I was going back and forth between forward and midfielder at the time. So I watched a lot of individuals, and then like other people pop up on the side, and then I was like, and then I would write down everything they did and like certain moves they did and what I wanted to try. Yeah, it was kind of. Yeah, I was nerding out on my YouTube, but I loved it.
I love that. Yeah, I was going to ask because I knew you always loved Messi, but you used to be a forward, so that made sense. But I understand that time trying to bring in a little midfielders too, and you had to stay within the same club because at that time that was like the cream of the crop.
Yeah,
there was nothing else.
Yeah,
and you said like you were devastated, but like I don't think people understand when you play sport for a living, like it is everything to you. And it is like you are heartbroken when things don't work out, or you get injured, or you lose a championship, or you commit everything you have to something and you're like, if I do everything and it still doesn't work out, like this sucks. So I don't know, I don't think you should feel like that's a stupid thing to say because it's really real.
Yeah. I just don't, maybe a lot of people don't understand that feeling, but this is our life. Like this is,
and it's the first thing we've loved. Like we loved soccer since we were 5, like I was 5 years old. And to have that taken away and know it's like a creative outlet too. It's a outlet to be able to do something where you don't have to think about everything else in your life. And then to not have that, it does feel like you're lost
like,
a little.
Yeah.
Who am I? It's a real gut check. You mentioned earlier, and we have, we've had the privilege of growing up in Colorado and playing together in a youth system that leads us to a lot of great soccer players, and great coaches as well. And you mentioned Eric Buchet. Not only is he a coach, he is the officiant of your wedding, Lindsey.
Yeah.
Did you know? I didn't know that till I showed up at the wedding, and Eric had this paper thing, or like where you hold your papers,
like,
a briefcase looking thing. And I was like, what are you doing with that?
Yeah, he looks so professional.
He was nervous. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was very nervous because he loves you guys so much, and he wanted to do a really good job. How did that come about?
Tyler and I had been discussing it for months, and we were just like, we want to pick the best person that like knows us both well, but also we know like we'll do a really good job. And to be perfectly honest, the first person that came to my mind was Eric. And we had like one or two others, but like both Tyler and I from the very get-go, we were like, we'll keep thinking about it, but I think Eric is the right man for the job. This is super embarrassing, but we took Eric and Cammie out for dinner, and we were gonna ask him, and Tyler's like, do you want to do it? And I was like, obviously I want to do it. I've known him the longest. I couldn't do it. I was like too nervous, and I thought I was gonna cry. Like I was like, Tyler, I need you to do it. I was like, what if he says no? Like what if he doesn't want to? Yeah, I know, it's stupid. But I was so nervous, and it was like this is like a very important thing for me. And Tyler was just like, oh, whatever, I'll do it.
He's just so cut and dry. He's like,
you want to be the officiant or not? No, he did it in the best way possible. But yeah, I like chickened out. I don't know.
That's wild.
Yeah. And then
that's not really your personality.
No, but with Eric, it's like,
yeah,
you know, Eric's been in my life for a very long time and has been like in a lot of huge moments in my life.
When did you meet him?
Listen, my memory is
not good. When she was
younger.
younger.
Back in the day. I think probably right when I came over to Rush.
Yeah.
I knew of him and then.
Right. Does he have the long hair then?
No, I don't think I ever knew.
You never had it with the long hair?
I have pictures.
We used to call him Bobby Boucher from The Water Boy. You're welcome, Eric.
I will forever have those pictures on my phone.
Yeah.
I wish I knew him then.
Yeah.
Was he different?
No, he was the same.
Yeah?
The same Eric.
Okay.
But he's a special man, and I get why you would want him to officiate your wedding. Congrats. I don't even think I said congrats yet on getting married.
Well, you were there.
I know, I have told you that, but not publicly to all the people listening.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was there. It was beautiful.
Thank you.
It was perfect. You looked amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, and it was so much fun seeing people celebrate you. But enough of the wedding. Let's. Eric he just really is a special human. What's different about him than any other coach, mentor? I don't know. What would you classify him as?
Great question. I guess mentor is a good one. I don't know. It's really tough. I mean, when I first met him, I was so scared. Scary man. Sorry, Eric, but you were. Gotten way past that. I don't get scared anymore. Even when he yells, I kind of like giggle. But you know, ever since, you know, maybe it was like U15, U16, you know, when we had those, you know, you would train with your head coach in
and
Rush.
Then you'd have Wednesdays, a technical director. Yeah.
So nice. I love those.
Just a nice mix up.
Yeah. And I would also go train with his team, which was a younger team. But more so, like, it's kind of crazy thinking I would go train with the younger team, but it was more because I just wanted to be coached by him. I think Eric is just so different. I think he views the game in such an incredible way. So detail oriented, and I mean, he just knows the game so well, but also like stays up to date with how the game changes, the modern game, the patterns in which the game is going, which is really difficult for like a coach that's been coaching for so long. Like, coaches get stuck in their ways so easily, and for a coach to like be able to implement what he wants to implement and how he sees the game, but also stay in the same path as the game and how it's going, like, I think that's really special. And yeah, I don't know another coach like him. I don't think I've had a lot of really good coaches, but I will forever say he is the best coach I've ever had. And yeah, I also think it's like really hard for a player to continue to learn as they grow older. Like, I think I know the game pretty well now and I have a lot of experience, but I think every single time that I'm around him, I learn something new, whether that's sitting down and having a coffee or going and training with the Rapid second team, which is like one of my greatest experiences as well. Is like he lets me come out and train with them, and it's amazing because I keep learning, and I think that's what all of us players want.
Totally.
You know, you just want to continue to learn and grow, and you can still grow at age 31. You know,
you're getting up there.
Yeah, no, but it's important. So
you're not getting up there.
No, come on.
You got a long ways to go, Linz. You're right about Eric. I think the other thing that I've just always thought was special about him is, as a coach, it's hard to be super invested in every player and to really care about players' success. But the best coaches, no matter who the player is, they want you to succeed.
Yeah.
And I feel like deep down underneath everything that I've learned from him is this like real desire for us to just be better human beings.
Yeah.
And with that, with coaching us is we're going to be better soccer players, but he wants us to be better humans too. Yeah. And that's like one of the things that has stuck out to me is it doesn't always come through like, you got to be better on that. Like there is some hard things that he has said to me, but that it comes with like this, I don't want to say like fatherly voice, but someone that you just truly respect because of how much trust you've been able to get with him and working with him. So he's a special dude.
I know.
He made some jokes at your wedding too.
He did. A lot of football jokes.
He had people. It was good. He did a really good job.
Yeah. We're very thankful.
Yeah. He was happy when it was over too.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
He was stressing.
Yeah. The cool thing too now is you're like a power couple, Linz. Tyler with San Diego. You're playing professionally for the national team. I gotta know, like you guys watch all the each other's games. Mm-hmm. What's the conversation like after the games?
Oh my gosh.
Do you want to talk about the games, or are you guys saying no? I don't want to talk anything about. Or just depends on does it depend on the result?
No, I think we'll always he will always give me feedback on my games. He's had to learn over time that if I have a bad game, that he needs to wait a little bit to be critical.
It's a good learning curve there, Tyler.
Took him a little too long. No, but he is one of the smartest guys I know in the game and how he views it as well. So I always want, his thoughts, comments, etc. So he will give it to me, but he knows when I have a bad game. I know when I have a bad game. Give me a day and
then we can talk.
But
let's circle back around.
But for his games, it's so funny. I'm like, well, I got to do kind of the same thing, right? So I'm giving all these comments, and I'm like, he's not actually playing in the game, but I'm still gonna do this. So it's really fun. But I feel like I'm full invested in his team. So
you have to be.
So I have to give my thoughts.
You married into it.
Yeah. I sometimes do it to the coach as well, and it's really funny. Mike Q probably wants to kill me, but yeah.
I'm sure like any soccer mind, you enjoy having conversations with other people who get the game. It's pretty fun to watch you guys both succeed in your own areas, because it doesn't happen very often. And it's cool that he gets to do that in a totally new environment, which I am sure is filled with a lot of ups and downs. Yeah. You mentioned training with Rapids too, but growing up in Colorado too, and always coming back. The cool thing is you mentioned it. Actually, you got an Ollie jersey earlier. Mm-hmm. I don't know if everybody does this, but we had the best pickup in the off seasons.
The best. No one has this kind of pickup. No.
We win.
We win.
No. Yeah, I would always get schooled when I played pickup with you guys.
It's not true.
But it is really fun to watch and be amongst pros, men and women that are from the Colorado area. Mm-hmm. Is that how you met Cole, or did you know Cole through the Rush before?
I knew Cole through the Rush. And then obviously when he came over to Rapids Academy, he was, amongst those guys. He quickly went up to the first team he should, but it was annoying for me because I loved training with him.
Yeah. So you trained with him when he was with Eric at the academy. Yeah. Okay.
And then slowly but surely, I think when we had our big pickup in the off season, it would be a mix of old Rush players, Rapids players, any guys that are in town coming back pro, and we would have this massive WhatsApp group. And I think, there was just 2 girls in it.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, and this is with Paolo DiPiccolo and Warner, and so I would always go with them no matter what I was doing, and then we would make Rush teams, Rapids teams, whatever, and we made sure Cole was always with us. But yeah, we had the best time. I love those pickups.
I know, it's some of my favorite times of playing soccer.
Yeah.
Ever. Even when Warner yelled at me.
Did he yell at you?
Yeah, he told me I was slow one time, and it just still hurts
You're
my
slow?
heart. I wasn't that
Have
fast.
you seen him run?
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Warner?
You are warned.
Yeah, I'm going to come talk to you afterwards.
Did you know, though, pretty early on when you saw Cole, this kid has something pretty special?
Yeah.
What do you think it was?
okay, for me, it's like, honestly, it's when you play like a five-a-side game, and you see the way that they want to play it.
Yeah.
Like, there's always those guys that every time they get the ball, they shoot it, and yeah, it goes in, it goes upper 90. It's like, ooh, let's cheer, whatever. But the guys that are really special are the ones that like want to play. They want to play tiki taka. Like, they get the ball, give it, get the ball, give it. Like, it's such a again, I sound lame, but it's like such a beautiful way of playing. And I think that's why I enjoyed playing with Warner and Paolo so much, is like we would lose a lot, but we would have so much fun playing. And like we just had that same thought process in how we were playing. And Cole was the exact same way.
Yeah.
And he appreciated it so much. He appreciated the ball, and he also just like wanted to win, and he cared so much about these like pickup games. And I'm like, that guy's going to be legit. And I think he was very much like me, where he wasn't the most athletic and like fastest, strongest, whatever, which I think a lot of these MLS guys have. Like, they're super, super athletic. So like you have to like be really freaking good if you're going to make it there. And I see it with,
especially as a 10.
Yeah.
Or like a winger in this league. That's typically DPs.
Yeah, exactly. So to see like a Cole or an Ollie like really succeed and like go and make a difference for the Rapids, like that is so cool to me, because I don't think they're the biggest athletes, you know, like myself. And then you see the work ethic, you see, and even like there's so many days that Cole's texting me, he's like, hey, you want to go finish? Hey, you want to go do so-and-so, like do my fitness with me, like et cetera, et cetera. Like that's really cool.
I love that. You know what else I loved is when you were, I think they call it the honorary captain, and you wore his jersey.
Heck yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I support my people.
Yeah, I know. It is a nice little community of like, we just root for each other.
Yeah.
And we always root for you, because you have just crushed it, Linz. Like you never cease to amaze me with what you've been able to do. And you've done it in the midst of like, you know, some challenging times. Like, it hasn't been easy on the national team. There have been some really high highs.
Yeah.
When you won in France, and we got to celebrate that. But there's been some low lows too, right? In 2023 when you guys lost. Like, what was that? How did you handle that?
Man, it was hard.
Yeah.
I think just going through, you know, the World Cup in 2019, and then fast forwarding to that, it was such a big change for me, especially, and going into it as a captain as well. Such a different world as a captain. I'll say that first and foremost, but also to just not feel like we're performing at our best, and I don't know, to go out like we did. Obviously, we have high expectations and standards for ourselves, but also from the U.S. fans and our country. Like, it was just such a disappointment, and we hurt so bad after that. And
can't imagine.
And it's PKs too. Like, that will always hurt a little bit more.
I know, and I'm just gonna say Alyssa saved it. So like, I will never not believe that she didn't save it.
Yeah.
I never
Neither
will.
will she.
No, she won't either.
No.
So I'm with her on that.
No.
Yeah, I would imagine that took like a little bit to wrap your mind around, like, why do I love soccer again?
Yeah. That was, I remember going on vacation with Tyler afterwards, where like a poor man flew in for that game to be there the rest of the tournament. And obviously we lose, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? Like, that is like the worst feeling. Like, you're all going your separate ways. You can't even like sit there and talk about it or debrief, or like, you're just like, what do I do? And I go on vacation with Tyler, and there's so many moments in that time frame where I just, you know, you would just cry. You would sit there and be like, why?
Yeah.
What could we have done? You go through so many things in your head, and but like, this is football. This is life.
Yeah.
You reflect back, and there's still like a lot of good things, you know, to come from it, and learnings, and obviously that takes us to the Olympics, and look what happened. So you have the highest of highs, the lowest of lows.
We know what happened. And you have a tattoo to
I do
show for it. You had to. I mean, you can't not get that.
Listen, I want to remember that moment for the rest of my life, and so it's gonna be right there.
Best moment of the tournament.
Best moment? Probably when the final whistle blew.
Yeah, you're like, we did.
I was like, oh my God, I'm so tired. I don't think people understand how hard Olympics are with the game schedule.
Tell us.
It's hard. It is
Like significantly harder than the World Cup?
significantly. Like,
Because the games are so close together.
games are so close together. And especially like with our team, we did not change a lot. We were pretty consistent with our lineups and who we played. So, we had a lot of miles on our bodies. And I think for me personally, it was a new staff. It was a lot of new staff, and making sure everyone, got meshed together and kind of being, I guess, like the middleman with a lot of things. I took a lot of pride in the role that I played there. And it was really hard. Like it took a mental toll on me, but like, obviously I would take that over anything, to get a gold medal. But, and I'm so thankful for Emma, because she put me in that role and she trusted me, and our relationship grew really quickly, which was so important. And then to go out and win a gold medal with it, like but yeah, it is exhausting. You asked some of the players there, like we were absolutely dead.
Yeah.
But,
I'll never forget what Emma said about you too, about you being the captain. And that was really special. And I'm sure a moment that you'll never forget too, just having a coach talk about you like that. It was so fun to watch. I just can't imagine being the captain of the U.S. women's national team. Like, what does that feel like every time you put on that armband? And it's probably more than that for you, right? Because you're doing that every single day. It's not just the game, but that is like a physical representation of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think for me, what you just said, it's everything I do. And I take, again, a lot of pride in that, where I'm like, I have to show up every single day. I have to, like, I kind of think of it like I have to be Captain Lindsey every day. I watched a documentary on Sergio Ramos as the captain of Real Madrid, and how much he took, great pride into that and everything that he did, and showing up every single day. Like, there's no off day in the captain's life. So I was like, you know what? I want to be the best captain I could possibly be. I also want to be a human. I also want to enjoy, and I still want to be the best player I can be. So how can I find a fine balance and all that? But first and foremost, I want to make sure that I get the best out of all my teammates, and everyone is ready for, what we have in store. And, the team is in a good place. That is the most important thing to me.
Yeah.
And how can, I think what I've learned over time and after the Olympics was okay, Lindsey, you still have to be Lindsey. You still need to prepare yourself to go and play. And that, again, no regrets, but it was the one thing that I wish I did more of during that tournament was just giving myself a little Lindsey time.
Yeah.
Which is hard because it's new.
It's demanding.
Yeah. There was just a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I necessarily could have done that.
Right.
So I think that's something that I've really tried to change over the past year, which has been helpful. But yeah, it's just it's a hard job, but what an amazing thing. And like you just said, you step out on the field and you're holding the little banner and you go out and you get to sing the national anthem, and you're the captain of that team. I know. It's the coolest feeling in the world.
I know. Gosh, it makes me so proud of you.
Oh.
I get a little teary-eyed just thinking about how cool that must be, and how much you've worked for that. You have worked for that, and it is a very well-deserved honor. One of the things, actually, you've done it multiple times now, but you got to do that I never got to do as a pro, is play here in Colorado.
Oh.
What's that like when you are here at Dick's and everybody they probably got their banners up, their signs, everyone's screaming at you after the game to get your autograph. That's just got to be unreal.
Literally, the only bad thing about it is getting my family the amount of tickets that they need every single time. That is the only disaster. But everything else, like you just said, it's the most amazing thing in the world. Playing at home, hearing people's names, like seeing like the Rush signs or seeing the Rapids, like it is really, really cool. And yeah, like you don't get sick of that.
No, you don't. No. And we're excited to have you guys. Yeah, again, June 26th, you guys are playing Ireland here at Dick's Sporting Goods Park. It should be so much fun for all those people who have tickets. Gosh, Linz, we've talked about a lot of things.
Yeah, we have.
And I know you know I'm very proud of you. But I do have to put you on the spot.
Oh, boy.
We got to play a game because I like playing games at the end of this.
Love games.
Make it fun. We are doing a celebrity like sports power couple ranking.
Oh.
That was a really long title.
Yeah.
Do you think I could say it again the same way? Celebrity sports power couples ranking. No, whatever.
Sounded
Do you
good.
get what I mean?
Sounded
okay,
good.
so I'm going to give you 5 couples, and you're going to blind rank them.
Oh, boy. Okay.
1 through 5.
So it's one. Okay.
So I'm going to tell you, first one, Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union. And you're going to say this is what number they are.
Yeah.
Okay. Hit us.
That's the first one?
That's the first one.
So we can't, like, put the first one.
Well,
obviously. I'm going to put them at 4.
4. Okay. Write that down.
I mean, this is obvious. It's top 5, so they're all good.
Yeah, that's a great point. Kate Upton and Justin Verlander. We're going different sports here. Do you know who that is? We're going to cut this part, and we are not going to go.
Who's Justin?
He was a pitcher, but how about I just go with this one, and I'll add a different one in, okay? Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce.
I mean, I feel
Do you know them?
I feel like that has to be 1. But also, like, I love Travis Kelce, so I'm going to put it 1.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
The Swifties are going to be so happy with
So
you,
happy
too. Okay, so we got 1 out. Serena Williams and Alex O'Hannon.
Ooh. 3.
Ooh, okay. David and Victoria Beckham.
2. Right?
Sure. So we have 5 left.
Yeah.
Mal and Dansby Swanson.
No. Why would you do that? I should have known you were going to do that.
I mean, do you know me?
0. They're
0. Okay.
They're before 1.
Yeah. Are you an honorary aunt?
I hope so. I'm probably not anymore.
Well, you put him at 0, so
I know.
you
no,
definitely.
Mal and Dansby are number 1.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tay.
I just had to get tricky there.
Yeah,
you know?
you did.
Just keep you on your toes.
I should have known. That was. Dang it.
Well, you guys are now in that. You and Tyler again. So excited for you, and yeah, we're just so proud of you, everybody in Colorado, what you've been able to do. One of the things that we love to do on the podcast is give our guests a little opportunity at the end to just express some gratitude, thank somebody. So you have an opportunity to give some, to be thankful right now.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I'll take this opportunity to be thankful for.
You know where your camera is. Good girl.
Jordan Angeli. I think, without getting emotional, I think this is someone that's been in my life for a very long time, like she has said, and has probably been one of my biggest supporters for all my life. You know, she was a professional soccer player herself, and I think you dealt with a lot of injuries and whatnot. So for you to be what you are for me and to always cheer me on and always be there for me at any given moment, I think that is really, really special. And I think we've stayed very close over time when, you know, it's really hard in long distance friendships, especially when I'm overseas, to have like a relationship like this where you come back together and you are always like this. It is really, really special. And I'm just so thankful for you and the type of person you are as well, because you bring so much light and joy into everyone's life, and especially mine and my family's. So I am very, very thankful for you.
Well, give me a second after that.
Thanks for giving me that moment to do that.
Well,
I would have said
really
it afterwards.
That was very nice, very unexpected. Just kidding. I'll pay you later. No, that was really kind. I do feel like there are certain friendships that it doesn't matter how long you haven't seen somebody if you just hop back into it. And girl, you know I'm always going to support you.
I know.
One of your biggest fans. And yeah, just cool thinking about that 15-year-old who I met at Wheat Ridge High School who doesn't remember meeting me.
Obviously was starstruck.
You were so starstruck. Thanks for telling us some stories and really diving into a lot of things. It's always great to talk with you, but this has been really fun.
No, thank you for having me.
Yeah. Well, that's going to do it for us here at The Conversation. I've been your host, Jordan Angeli, and we just thank Lindsey Heaps for joining us and her off days, really.
Yeah.
You're getting some rest.
Getting some rest.
Good.
Let's see me at Legree tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. We're going to Legree tomorrow, so that will be fun. Reminder, the U.S. Women's National Team is going to be playing here at Dick's Sporting Goods Park June 26th against Ireland. Make sure that you guys like, subscribe, and rate the Colorado Rapids podcast wherever you listen to the podcast. That's it for the first episode, and I think it was a pretty good one, Linz.
I hope so.
Yep. All right. We'll see you guys soon.